For the longest time, I've had this question in my mind. What would be the top 10, top 5, or even the very best sci-fi action movie of all time? Today, what you're gonna see is me attempting to finally make that top 5 for myself and potentially choose a winner. That being said, there are so many amazing movies out there that it's going to be extremely difficult to even come up with a top 10. So what we're going to do is come up with certain rules. Rule number 1, we really need the genre to be prevalent in the movie. So action needs to be very present as well as sci-fi, okay? If the movie has more horror and a lot of suspense, in my opinion, it doesn't qualify. That's not necessarily what I'm looking for. So Alien franchise, I'm so sorry. In that same vein, technically Jurassic Park should be sci-fi action. Action 100% has it all. Sci-fi, technically they use science that we don't currently have to make the dinosaurs, but the way it is portrayed, the suspense and everything, I personally count it as horror. That's it, probably 20 of you are typing in the comments already. I'm sorry. I just don't view Jurassic Park as a action sci-fi. I wouldn't put Jurassic Park and The Matrix in the same category. I'm sorry. Wait, does that mean to me action means guns and or fighting? I guess. So according to IMDb, this is the top 50 action sci-fi. It is currently set by popularity. So we're gonna see things like Tron that I haven't seen yet, Superman that just came out. I also don't think I'm gonna be counting superhero movies because to me that's more fantasy than action sci-fi. You know what I mean? Making videos about movies is so complicated because I'm scared. I'm like, you guys are gonna hate me just for not considering superhero movies as sci-fi action, even though those elements are very, very prevalent in them. I don't know, there's the fantasy thing. Let's try to think of an action sci-fi superhero movie that's more grounded. Captain America, for example, just a super serum, that's sci-fi. That is not science that we have. But to me, something like The Winter Soldier is just action with sprinkle superhero in it. But I would not put it in the same category as The Matrix, even though technically Neo is some sort of superhero in a way. He's the one. Oh God, what am I doing? Anyways, usually I think of the big ones, right? The Matrix, obviously I usually put in there. So I'll tell you exactly what I usually have in mind when I'm asking this question. It's usually movies like this, mostly like very, very heavy on the action, with sci-fi elements, basically that takes place in like dystopian future or something like that. So Matrix is definitely up there. Movies like Equilibrium, movies like Blade Runner. But as I was saying, Matrix is definitely up there, right? Objectively, I would say, because of like the impact that it had and the type of movie it is. And I used to confidently say, oh yeah, that's top 1, like Matrix, of course. Why is Matrix and Blade Runner, why are those the top 2 or something like that, right? Terminator 2. And to me, that was the holy grail. Like nothing else could surpass that. And then someone was like, what about The Fifth Element? And I was like, you know what? I don't know where I would put The Fifth Element. Like if there was only a top 3, for example, Matrix, Blade Runner, T2, as much as I love Blade Runner, me personally, I would probably have to remove Blade Runner and put The Fifth Element in there because I can understand that for some people, this movie is so much fun on top of the action and the sci-fi that it might even be more fun to watch than The Matrix. Now, personally, I love The Matrix way more than I love The Fifth Element, but I definitely understand how fun this movie is. As goofy as it is, you can call the acting bad. You can say that you can't stand Chris Tucker for some reason, even though everyone loves him. That's a real take that I saw on TikTok. People were like, Chris Tucker ruins this movie. It's like, what? Okay, we're not ranking yet, by the way. Do not be scared. When I mentioned The Fifth Element, and I was like, okay, some people will factor in just how fun movies are. And then someone else mentioned to me, hey, what about Demolition Man? If we're talking about fun, Demolition Man is more fun to me, speaking like the other person speaking, than any of those movies. Maybe not as fun as The Fifth Element, but definitely more fun than Terminator 2. Some people don't like Terminator 2 as much. So I'm like, Demolition Man? Like I can't say that it's not fun. It is so fun. But is it worth it to put Demolition Man in like the top 5? The answer is no. But back then it wasn't no. Back then it was like devastating to me because I was like, oh, Demolition Man needs to be at least in the top 10. But then I realized I fell into a trap. I fell into the trap of basically just listing movies that were fun when I was a kid. Movies that I watched and that were super fun. So what I did is I rewatched Demolition Man. I wanted to make sure that, I had like the right mindset going in and be like, oh, maybe it didn't age well at all and maybe it sucks now and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't suck. It's still super fun. I don't know if it's nostalgia or something, but like it's still super fun. I still don't think at the end that it's gonna make top 10, but it definitely deserves a mention there. Again, this is my brain still on 90s, early 2000 maybe types of movies. In that same breath, there's Predator, the OG Predator. Is it a good movie? Same thing as Demolition Man, right? It's the idea of certain things are executed so well. I think the world building in Demolition Man, absolutely amazing. I think the fun part of it, 10 out of 10. Can't argue. The humor is great. The action is also pretty great. Yeah, sometimes a little goofy, but still pretty great. Wesley Snipes in the 90s, like, you can't beat that. But overall, when it comes to film in general, would that be anywhere near the top? Pains me to say it, but probably not. Probably not at all, actually. It would just be considered as, that's just a goofy movie. Speaking of a goofy movie, I'm joking. So that's the big issue here, is that we already have so much to go with when it comes to 90s action sci-fi movies that it's difficult to even realize that we have some new classics. Inception is one of those, Interstellar is technically not really action. I'm gonna be real with you. I think Interstellar is like drama sci-fi more than action sci-fi, right? Again, my brain is like, there's no fighting, there's no shooting. Well, there is fighting a little bit. Spoiler. But I wouldn't put Interstellar in same place as The Matrix. Now, once we add Predator, it makes me think, okay, Schwarzy gotta be somewhere up there, right? Oh, he's already in Terminator 2, but he did so many movies. As much as I want to add movies like Total Recall, I just don't think they're good enough. I just don't think Total Recall is like up there with the greats. Don't get me wrong, I love Total Recall, but I'm also trying to think of, objectively like really, really, really good movies. I don't want to just make a list of movies that I have fun watching because we would have a lot of very, very goofy movies up there. I would end up just putting movies that are super fun. I also want to have this kind of objective way of listing those. Schwarzy did a lot of sci-fi movies. Turns out all of them I love. I love Schwarzy. Also, you might have picked up that I am a hypocrite because I refuse to put Alien in there, but then I put Predator. Now, in your opinion, is that fair? I don't know. In my head, since the Predator is more humanoid and he fights with weapons, he slashes and then he shoots. That's pretty much all he does. It feels more grounded. It feels more typical action, I would say. The Predator being like a beast is not necessarily like a monster, like a complete creature that they're fighting. And they're definitely not in an enclosed area. They're in a forest. Now, the question is, where is the sci-fi element? The sci-fi element is just the Predator, technically. Am I going to have to remove it from the list? I feel like I'm going to have to remove it from the list. I feel like it doesn't qualify. Anyways, let's move on. This is all off the top of my head, by the way. This is basically the movies that I think of when I used to ask this question. That changed a little bit and you will see why. And you'll understand when I say like my brain was stuck in the 90s because Judge Dredd, so good. I actually really, really enjoy the remake or the new one. I wish they would continue, pour money into Judge Dredd projects. I think it's really cool. If superhero movies can work, I think Judge Dredd universe could probably work. It would be awesome. They just need to dial it in to make it seem like more pretentious. Now, again, movies like Judge Dredd and Demolition Man, a little goofy, not gonna lie. But you know what? You tell me, between Judge Dredd and Demolition Man, which one would win? Okay, let's pull up the IMDb list because I'm drawing blanks now. So it's when I started talking to younger people that they started mentioning things like Inception, where I'm like, whoa, actually like classic action sci-fi movies that you can consider timeless, they haven't stopped during the 90s. Like there are newer movies. Me talking about a movie from 2010. This movie is 25 years old. Oh my God. I have to admit that this is a classic. It's heavy on the sci-fi. The whole technology, the whole premise is based on technology that we don't necessarily have. I hope not. and very, very heavy on the classic action, I will say. The typical, we shoot in, we fight in, and it's cool. And it's like a whole dream sequence. It is technically a dream sequence, the whole movie. It's amazing. So now we're getting close to like newer movies. We're leaving the 90s for a little bit. So this rewired my brain because now I have to put movies like Inception against Demolition Man. And I'm like, if I'm sitting down and I have to show these movies to someone who has never seen either of them, they will have fun watching Demolition Man. I don't think they'll say that Inception is not better though. Like they'll definitely say, hey, Inception in general might be a better movie. Unless it's one of those people who watch like Nolan movies and they're like, oh, I didn't get it. The Maze Runner probably wouldn't be in my top 10, but would definitely be in my top 100, for example. So like that's a movie that I didn't think of at all when thinking of a list like that. Say what you want about Maze Runner. It's like kind of like a teenager type of film based on probably like a teenage romance thing. It's based on a novel that I haven't read, but we can't say that the movie was bad. At least not the first one. We cannot say that the first Maze Runner was bad. Actually really well executed for the type of movie that it is. I usually don't like those teenager type-esque movies, but they usually get it right on the first one. First Hunger Games, personally, I really liked it. Even though people are comparing it to like Twilight. Oh my God, no, that's very different. Stop it. We can have teenage novels that are not necessarily all about romance. Anyways, what was I saying? So when I see something like Ghostbusters, I'm like, again, I'm a hypocrite because you know, I said, oh, Aliens has a lot of horror, so I'm not going to put it in there. But I'll put Demolition Man and Judge Dredd, which has a lot of comedy in there. So I should eliminate those. But I don't know, they still feel action sci-fi. I feel like that's still the main thing. I don't feel like Ghostbusters is very action sci-fi. It deals with ghosts, which I don't know if I would classify as sci-fi, even though they use technology that we don't have. The whole movie, I would say, is pretty light-hearted. So to me, action plus lightheartedness feels more like adventure. I don't want to put Ghostbusters in. I don't need to come up with a valid excuse. The Suicide Squad would probably qualify, but superhero movie, I don't want to include. Jurassic Park, we've been through this already, okay? Let it go. Blade Runner 2049, I have to put it in there. I also have to put the original. I did mention the Hunger Games. Technically, Hunger Games and Maze Runner, when it comes to the premise, it is technically sci-fi. It takes place in the future, technology that we don't have. You know, it has a lot of action. Oh no, I might have to include Hunger. It's not even near my like top 50 of that. But it wouldn't be fair to put Maze Runner and not put the Hunger Games. My only gripe is the romance part of it, or the drama part of it. There's a lot of blah blah, basically. It's not just sci-fi action. It's a little bit of sci-fi, lots of action towards the end. But before you get to there, so much blah blah and so much, I love you. Oh, Peter. Oh, I used to decorate cake. Yeah, so far out of everything here, I'd say Hunger Games is like last when it comes to this category. If we were doing like action/romance, maybe it would get a chance. I don't know. I'm really not sure. Tenet needs to go in there. I think I'm not putting Tenet. I'm not putting Tenet because I don't think Tenet is a classic, okay? I don't think Tenet counts as a classic. We are definitely looking for the classics, and we're kind of looking at the top 30 in order to determine a top 10, and then maybe a top 5, maybe a 1. For me, it's probably going to be Matrix, not going to lie. Now, again, the question is Avatar, sci-fi, action, sci-fi, a little bit of blah blah. Not really drama. Yeah, I think it's fair to put Avatar in there. James Cameron's Avatar deserves to be up there. Whether you like it or not, whether, the story is very simplistic, we have to say it's a classic. This is not one of those movies that's going to be forgotten. It's Avatar. I'm not even that much of a fan of Avatar. That being said, if you are an adult, I would highly recommend, I can't believe I'm about to say this. This ain't Avatar XXX. It is not safe for work. But the reason I'm recommending it is because somehow it actually has a better ending than the real movie. So yeah, an adult version of Avatar is actually better in my opinion, script-wise, story-wise, than the real one. Oh yeah, something I wanted to mention is that we really want to stay with live action. Considering the amount of CGI that's in Avatar, I also feel like a hypocrite. Also, you're probably thinking of Star Wars. Action, sci-fi, yes, but I'm not putting them. They are classics. They are classics. Don't get me wrong. But again, kind of lighthearted, kind of adventure-esque, fantasy-esque. This is going to be the end of me. You guys are not going to like this. I don't want to put Star Wars in there. I don't feel like Star Wars fits that category. Sure, there's shooting. I don't know. Also, personally, I feel like Star Wars would not hold up against a lot of those movies that we already have here. Please, please do not hurt me or my family. Edge of Tomorrow. This one, I'm biased, okay? I'm biased. You may not agree that this is like a classic. To me, that's a classic. Like, that's a classic. That's a recent-ish classic from 2014. Why am I doing this? This is going to be my last video. But hey, again, I encourage you to participate. I encourage you to tell me in the comments what your pick would be. And do you feel like I'm fair with the comparisons? Do you feel like I'm fair with the selections? Because me going like, I don't want to put Star Wars in there, and then going, oh yeah, Edge of Tomorrow is amazing. The thing is, I don't want to only rely on my memory, on how I felt when I saw those movies. I also want to think about how they've aged and how I would feel watching them today, and how someone would feel if I were to show them those movies today. Because to me, that's the ultimate gauge, right? It's like, is the movie good, or were you 5 when you watched it? I was like, I get that. For example, I love the Hulk, the first Hulk movie. And it's cheesy and it's blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I love that movie. I watched it as a kid and I loved it. Even back then, people hated it. But I know that today, if I show it to someone else, they're not going to enjoy it the way I enjoy it. So it's not just the movie that's that good. It's my relationship to the movie. Minority Report. Can we agree Minority Report is a classic? Or are we just putting everything Spielberg has done? I'm not going to put War of the Worlds, for example. It is sci-fi, it is action, but like, come on, like, look at the lineup here. I'm going to have the #1 fan of War of the Worlds in the comments. How dare you? Again, I'm thinking of classics. That's a little bit of my opinion, but also, I'm not going to say the word objective anymore. Mad Max Fury Road, by my own definition, should be, adventure. It's not really lighthearted. It's very action. It is sci-fi. It is a classic. Does it hold up? Yes, absolutely. Very difficult to do better. But that's the thing too. Like, I'm thinking of like the whole, I don't want superhero movies in there, but a lot of those are technically superhero movies. It's just like, they're not based off of comic books. That's it. That's the only difference between those and like, Jake Sully could have been like a hero. There could have been a comic about it. Some of them probably has, like, this one is based on a novel. Hunger Games is based on a novel. So it's just that she's not super, I think. I haven't read the books. Furiosa, I haven't seen it. I haven't heard a lot of people talk about it. I doubt that it would be a classic. Men in Black is a classic, is good, is a lot of fun, but I don't think holds up with the rest of the movies here, so I'm not going to include it. But it counts, okay? If you're a huge Men in Black fan, it counts. Like, I'm not judging you for putting it on your top 5, for example. Watchmen, superhero. It's also based on a graphic novel, but also I don't think Watchmen, the movie, holds up to... It definitely holds up to some of those, right? If you're going to say, Maze Runner and Watchmen, I'd rather watch Watchmen. Some people will probably think that. Demolition Man versus Watchmen. Some people will probably prefer Watchmen. I get it, but not me. Not me. As much as I love Watchmen. But I read the graphic novel. Pretty similar. Good stuff. The TV show, though, like the series, if you haven't seen the Watchmen series, highly recommend it. I highly recommend it. They did it right. Ooh, Blade. I would put Blade in more, even though there's a tiny little bit of action, it's technically a superhero, so I'm not going to put it, but we have to admit, it is sci-fi, a little bit sci-fi, but vampire, a lot of action, of course. I feel like it's more horror. It would go more in the horror category, horror action, I would say, fighting vampires. Prey, good movie. Don't think it's a classic. Highly recommend it. I loved it. I enjoyed it. Definitely not a classic in my book. in my opinion. World War Z, horror. We're dealing with zombies mostly. The Electrics, get out of here. Why is this in the top anything? Why is The Electric State in the top anything? 65. That movie was super goofy. Absolutely entertaining. I will not say that it was a bad movie, but you know, it's like, you forget about it. Forget about it. Starship Troopers. It is such a classic that I have to put it in there. To me, not in my top 10, but definitely in my top 100. But such a, like, I can't. I can't see Starship Troopers and then not include it. I have to. If you're younger and you're watching this video, you're probably like, what are those movies, man? What is he talking about? You should go watch them. Straight up, make a list. Make a list of 90s movies. Most of those hold up. You don't need to have like a specific humor or anything like that. I don't think so. Watch Demolition Man and figure out how to use the clams. I still haven't seen Free Guy. I don't think it's a classic. I might be wrong. Let me know about that. They Live. Technically sci-fi, definitely action, but also horror-ish. I don't know. Yeah, I don't feel like it. Classic for sure. Classic for sure. Okay, I'm not gonna put it in, but classic for sure. Action sci-fi, Ready Player One would qualify. Will it be regarded as a classic though? I'm really not sure. But even if it was, I don't think it holds up to the rest of the list for me. I think we're getting to the point where now we're mostly selecting stuff from my perspective. Pacific Rim, great action sci-fi. Technically, there's kaiju. I wouldn't call it horror just because there's monsters, but doesn't fit in my top. How many do we have here? 16? Okay, so we're aiming for a top 20 right now. Let's get 4 more. And then me, after editing this video, I'm gonna find some other movies that I forgot and then be like, oh, no, this should have made it. This should have made the list. Venom, definitely not. Spider-Man, nope. A little battle angel. Logan, I would love to include Logan. To me, a classic. Logan is a classic. Like, to this day, I don't think there's other superhero movies like Logan, but it can't be in the list. Superhero. Independence Day, I'm gonna put it in the list. For me personally, I'm not American, so it doesn't hit the same way, but I watched it as a kid. I loved it. Will Smith was popping off back then, and I was watching everything. Men in Black, Independence Day, everything, just everything that he would make. I was there. Let's put that somewhere. Star Trek. I'm sorry. Not really a Trekkie. I haven't really given it a chance, to be fair. Maybe I'll change my mind at some point. I'll watch all the Star Treks, sorry, and then I'll change my mind. But yeah, Upgrade. I would love for Upgrade to be a classic. I don't think it is considered as such, but to me, it is a classic. I'm gonna put it in there, even though I think the other ones probably blow it out the water, but this movie means a lot to me. It's so good. It's so good. If you haven't seen Upgrade yet, it came out in 2018 and wow. If you're watching movies like Venom and you enjoy them, give this one a try. I don't think everyone's gonna like it. It's kind of an independent-ish looking movie, at least. It feels a little independent, but it's great. It's just great. Acting is great. Action is great. Sci-fi, great. Armageddon. See, if it was back then, I would probably put Armageddon in there because I loved Armageddon when it came out. I don't think it holds up. I don't think I would appreciate it today. Total Recall, again, absolutely love it. Also a classic, very sci-fi, very action. When it comes to how good it really is though, damn, it got a 7.5? Damn, it is highly rated. It's rated way higher than Armageddon. That is wild. The Creator should be a classic. If you haven't seen The Creator, please do yourself a favor. Support original, new movies. The Creator feels like an established franchise. That's how good it is. The Creator feels like what Star Wars should have been right now. Straight up. When I watch a new Star Wars movie, I'm like, eh. When I watched The Creator, I was like, wow, this world that you're showing me is amazing. It's awesome. And this is like serious. There's a little bit of humor to it, but just a little bit. It's so good. I feel so bad that it didn't do that well. To me personally, The Creator is a new classic for sure. Indiana Jones, I feel like more adventure. I don't even know if that makes sense. The movies that I call adventure. Technically, every action movie is an adventure. Edge of Tomorrow technically is an adventure movie, right? You're going on this adventure to try to stop the invasion and blah, blah, blah. But like, I don't know. I don't know. It just doesn't feel Arcadian. That was a fun movie. Definitely not in a top anything. Snowpiercer, I would say, I don't think Snowpiercer is a classic. Please hear me out. Hear me out. Personally, I don't think Snowpiercer is a classic. It's kind of like Bullet Train, right? Those movies are good. We love them. But I don't think in like 10 years or 20 years, people are going to be like, oh, that's one of the great movies. Not really. Oh, also, since I talk about The Matrix, Terminator, and all that, you're probably thinking Equilibrium. Back then, I would have put it. It would have been right there next to The Matrix. Today, I don't know if you've seen it recently. Nah. It's like, it's up there with, oh, this is going to piss off more people. It's up there with Ultraviolet and Aeon Flux. Not that bad. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Christian Bale, always like a win. But, you know, I would say if Equilibrium is here, Ultraviolet is here, and then Aeon Flux is down there. Aeon Flux is not even in frame. I still haven't seen Overlord. Damn, it seems like it stopped giving me classics. X-Men First Class. If I was including superhero movies, that would be up there. That would definitely be up there. District 9. See, this is the type of movies that after you make the list, you think about it and you're like, oh my God, this should have been there. Is District 9 a classic? Like, I'm asking you this question. To me, of course, it's up there. District 9 is amazing, in my opinion. Is it widely considered? Damn, it has 81 Metascore. 7.9, damn. That answers my question. District 9 is a classic. I gotta put District 9 in there. By the way, where's the sequel? Neil Blumkin? Where is it? Why are you calling him Blumkin? Blumkemp? I'm sorry. Teased us about a sequel for God knows how long. We need it now. It was so out of nowhere too. District 9 came up out of nowhere and was so good. They had this marketing stunt where they would put like posters that said for humans only, and it would have like one of those bug aliens crossed out, but without saying District 9, or it would say d9.com, d-9.com. So there was like a big mystery before the movie came out, which was so well done. Great movie. Such a good movie. Classic. All right, let's pick one more. The Tomorrow War. Get out of here. Source Code was pretty good. I don't think I would consider it a classic because I feel like most people forgot about this movie. It's with Jake Gyllenhaal. Really good. iRobot. Damn. iRobot is fun though. iRobot is fun. Some people are like, this is my top one. iRobot is my top one. Nothing will be better. And then other people are like, iRobot sucked. I'm in the middle with this. I'm like, iRobot was great. It was fun. It's like a good movie to watch. If I show iRobot to a person now who has never seen it, we're going to have fun. Like, I guaranteed we're going to have fun. It's not going to be boring. I don't think the CGI is going to be that old. I hope not. I'm scrolling down to see if there's anything else. RoboCop. For me, in our hearts, okay? My fellow millennials, we can agree RoboCop should be up there, but if we watch it like right now, it doesn't hold up. It doesn't hold up that well. We love it. I love it. For me, probably top 5, maybe fun sci-fi horror movies. But remember, there's movies like Inception and Terminator 2 in that list, and Mad Max Fury Road. Like, RoboCop doesn't stand a chance, in my opinion. Escape from New York is another one. It doesn't. The Iron Giant, I watched it a couple weeks ago. Still amazing. Way slower than I remembered, but still amazing. Face Off. Oh my God. Yes, we agree. Face Off is a classic. Face Off is amazingly fun. Yes, sci-fi. Yes, I was going to say horror. Yes, action. A lot of action. Actually, sci-fi is just a tiny part of it. It's mostly action. But yes, Looper is one of those movies I don't think can be regarded as a classic. Sorry. Don't be mad at me. But also, I don't think will be forgotten. I think everyone would be like, you remember that one movie? And people will be like, yes, I remember. It was called Looper. I don't think anyone would say, oh yeah, that was a classic that will be remembered forever. I need to rewatch Super 8. I have good memories of it, but I don't. Real Steel. Oh my. This movie, I think, became a classic kind of late. I feel like when it first came out, everyone was like, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then recently, I've seen like a surge of people on TikTok praising this movie and being like, actually, this movie was great. The thing is, I feel like this movie masquerades as this very simple type of movie, but it has so much heart that it really elevates the movie. And also Hugh Jackman's acting really, really lifts up the movie. So it ends up being way more than it has any right to be. Does it belong in the list? I think Real Steel is better than Hunger Games. I'm gonna say it. I don't care. I'm gonna say it. I feel like if you gave me the choice to watch two movies, one is Hunger Games, the other one's Real Steel, I'm gonna pick Real Steel. So I'll put it in the list. That's another underrated banger, honestly. If you haven't seen it, you gotta get there. I'm thinking for sure someone's gonna mention a movie in the comments that I forgot, and I'm gonna be like, oh yes, I should have put that one. Okay, let's do a final scroll to see if anything is worthy. Worthy? The Incredible Hulk, I love it. I love it so much. I am putting no Transformers. Although technically, Transformers 1 versus Hunger Games. Which one would win, Chad? Yes, I'm also calling you Chad. Hellboy. Oh, Hellboy. Serenity, I don't think... Do people... Oh, it's pretty highly rated. Do people consider Serenity a classic? I would, personally. But yeah, Hellboy. We gotta put Hellboy. Listen, chat, this is what we're gonna do. If you put enough movies that I forgot, we will make another video comparing them. Also, I'm thinking maybe doing polls in community posts. Elysium, don't think considered like objectively a classic. In my opinion, it's a classic. Also, Neil Blomkamp, I think. But I feel like, again, this is the type of movie that people will remember. Here's a question. Is Godzilla sci-fi action? Would we consider Godzilla sci-fi action? Depends on which one. Godzilla -1, definitely action. Whole lot of action. But having a huge monster, would we put that in horror? Or would we add like the horror tag to it? Or would we just keep it, hey, the monster is there because of sci-fi? Right? Anyways, we are done looking at IMDb, and this is what we are left with. So I think I should probably go from the bottom. It's going to be hard. This is going to be really, really, really hard. Okay. I should have made like a whole bracket system. Can I do that? Let me do that. Okay. So here's where we are. And I want to add one extra here so I can compare it to Judge Dredd. Cowboys and Aliens. That was a fun movie. Spy Kids. Nah. I wouldn't do that to Judge Dredd. I don't think I would. Would I? Damn. Spy Kids is good though. But again, that's my brain. That's my nostalgia speaking. We can't listen to it. Ender's Game was fun. Very like PG-13, very like kid-ish. I guess I was already grown. Oh yeah, if you're screaming at your screen thinking about Dune, the reason why I'm not putting Dune in there is because I haven't seen them, any of them at all. Hulk is what I was thinking of. Wait, is that the one with... Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. That's the one I like. Anyways, Jumper. Ooh, 35 Metascore? That's wild. Jumper was dope. Jumper was great. Jumper came out of nowhere. Kind of like, what's that other movie called? The one with Michael B. Jordan and Dan DeHaan, where they have powers. What is it called? I don't know. We love those random original-ish movies of like a bunch of college dudes getting powers, especially when they don't immediately use them for good. That was really cool. That was a cool like era that we had. If I'm being real with myself, the first Transformers probably, it probably deserves its spot on this list. If I'm being real, I don't like it, but it's mostly because I've seen it so many times. Technically, it's gotta be a classic. Not Bloodshot being in the list. To be fair, Bloodshot is like top 352 of best action sci-fi. Get your stuff together, man. Oh, and then Jason X is right underneath it. Okay. Small Soldiers. Yo, I want to put Small Soldiers in there. I haven't seen it recently. I don't think it aged that well, but also I have such a good memory of it. Damn, Velocipaster is higher than Dragon Ball Evolution. Chappie. Why is Chappie so low? Is it also Neil Blomkamp? I'm not sure. But it's also Hugh Jackman in there. Yo, why is Chappie so... It's not an amazing movie, but, it had a lot of heart. It was super fun. Okay, so whatever movie we find here, it's going to be a movie that I personally love and that no one else is going to consider a classic, I guess, because we're getting low in the scores here. I don't have much memory of Lost in Space, but it was that bad? Yeah, damn. 5.2? That's crazy. Judge Dredd is that low in ratings. It's for me. I'm like, oh, it's probably gonna be in the top 10. IMDb is like, it's more like top 500, dude. That's crazy. Darkman. I also love that movie. The Rocketeer. The Rocketeer is so low. Oh no. I need to rewatch all those movies. Okay, we reached After Earth, so I don't think anything good can come out of that gamer. Gamer. Time Cop. Oh no. Time Cop is lower than Gamer. That's messed up. Jackie Chan's Who Am I is 500. Okay, yeah, that list doesn't make sense. Disregard the placement. Hey, Aeon Flex is here. Battlefield Earth. Attack the Block. A lot of comedy in it. A lot of comedy. Technically action sci-fi, but I don't know if I would say horror. I mean, Demolition Man is pretty much all comedy too. So yeah, let's put Attack the Block. I think Attack the Block is a better movie than Hunger Games, so we'll put it in there. All right, and here we have our bracket. Again, I think I was clear about my love for The Matrix. So The Matrix is probably gonna do a lot of damage here, to be fair. The Matrix versus Blade Runner. I hate to immediately get rid of Blade Runner, but it's gonna be Blade Runner. It's gotta be The Matrix. Okay. Independence Day versus The Fifth Element. Fifth Element for sure. Blade Runner 2049, Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Ooh. Oh, this is hard. Terminator is gonna win, but only because of my personal love for Terminator 2. I can't even think about it objectively. I can't ask myself, is Terminator 2 a better movie technically than Blade Runner 2049? I love Terminator 2 so much that it is one of my favorite. It is in my top 5. Hunger Games versus Avatar. Yeah, like no questions asked. To be fair, I don't think there was much in that list that wouldn't beat Hunger Games, even though I enjoyed the first Hunger Games. Oh, there we go. Demolition Man. Demolition Man versus Edge of Tomorrow. I know I've been praising Demolition Man the whole time, but Edge of Tomorrow gotta win. Inception versus Minority Report. Damn. Inception. Love Minority Report, but you don't know. Mad Max versus Starship Troopers. Those feel unfair almost. Mad Max is gonna win. I think overall it's a better movie. Starship Troopers, definitely super fun though. Watch it if you haven't yet. Maze Runner versus Hellboy. Actually, the older one is gonna win on this one. Hellboy. Hell yeah. Hellboy is a better movie overall. I believe. In my opinion. Oh no. District 9 versus Upgrade. Oh man, I love Upgrade so much, but District 9 gotta win. District 9 has this one. For sure. Real Steel versus Predator. Oh, controversial take here. Oh man. I feel like if I'm showing one of those movies to someone who haven't seen either of those, they will have way more fun watching Real Steel today, here, 2025. They will have more fun watching Real Steel than Predator, despite my love for Predator. Okay. Real Steel. Ouch. That hurts, man. That hurts. Why am I doing this to myself? No one is asking me to do this. And yeah, I don't know what to do with the bottom ones. You know what? We'll just keep them there. Matrix versus, oh man, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do Matrix versus Independence Day. This is where I think this is going to be the most polarizing thing. If there was a top 2, okay, my top 3, I think would actually be Matrix, Independence Day, and T2. I don't think anything else here can hold up to those 3 movies. Yeah, no, nothing else can even come close. Even Inception, I don't think comes close to The Matrix, Independence Day, or Terminator 2. Inception might be like more grandiose and all that, but I think Terminator 2 is a better movie. Here's the compromise. I believe The Fifth Element is, have I been saying Independence Day? The Fifth Element is a more fun movie to watch than The Matrix, if that makes sense. If we were to sit down and watch either of those, we would have way more fun watching The Fifth Element. But for me personally, The Matrix has more significance, more meaning, so it wins. Damn, this is way harder than I thought it would be actually. I didn't think I would struggle that much. Wow, this is hard actually. So Matrix wins over Fifth Element, and I know a lot of people are gonna probably disagree. Inception versus Mad Max. Oh damn, that's hard too. Again, the whole fun thing. I think we would have more fun watching Mad Max But I think acting, casting, complexity, the story, VFX, maybe, yeah, VFX, not practical effects. Practical effects, Mad Max wins, but VFX wise and world building wise, Inception is just more interesting, I would say. Mostly because of the plot. I think the plot is what makes it win. Mad Max is such a masterpiece. Damn, that was hard. Like, I feel bad for Mad Max. Terminator 2 versus Avatar. Okay, this one is a no-brainer. This one is not hard. Not hard. Terminator 2 takes it for sure. Avatar was there because it's a classic and it's technically sci-fi action. So, ooh, interesting one. Hellboy versus District 9. Oh, this is gonna piss people off. Oh, I really want to go District 9 actually. I'm sorry, I gotta go District 9. I have to. I have to. There's more emotion in my mind attached to District 9 than Hellboy. Hellboy is so good though. The original, so good, but District 9 is so intense and so serious and sad, and yeah, Hellboy is a little too fun in this case to beat District 9 in my opinion. So what do we have? Edge of Tomorrow versus Attack the Block. Ooh, Attack the Block is more fun, but Edge of Tomorrow is a... Damn. I want to go I'm going to go Edge of Tomorrow. But Attack the Block is... I don't think I can confidently say that Attack the Block is not a better movie overall. Acting, dialogue, complexity, fun. Attack the Block is technically a better movie, but I love Edge of Tomorrow more, I think. Is it just because it's more serious? I guess. Real Steel versus Judge Dredd. Considering how Judge Dredd has aged, I don't feel bad choosing Real Steel. I think Real Steel has more heart, and it's, even though it does have a little bit of humor, it has way more heart. Oh my God, why am I doing this to myself? This is genuinely difficult. The Matrix versus T2. Oh man, this is where it gets personal for me. The Matrix versus T2. I know I'm gonna go to Matrix. I'm gonna go with Matrix, but damn, like eliminating T2, even though it has to happen, it breaks my heart. Yeah, we gotta go with the Matrix here. I should probably start bringing those towards the middle. Okay, and then what else do we have? Yeah, my bracket doesn't even make sense at this point because of the bottom ones. To be fair, T2 is better than Edge of Tomorrow, so I think we can start eliminating the bottom ones. So Matrix is the only thing that's gonna survive from the left bracket. Inception versus District 9. Oh. Actually, for some people, a lot of people didn't like District 9. So for some people, it's going to be like, oh, of course, Inception. But District 9 holds I love District 9. But yeah, Inception is going to win. Inception is going to unfortunately win. Okay. Technically, we have Matrix versus Inception because otherwise it's like Real Steel. I guess Real Steel versus Edge of Tomorrow is an interesting one. Real Steel has so much heart that it's difficult to eliminate it. It's like, it feels wrong to eliminate it, but I think I like Edge of Tomorrow more than Real Steel. Okay, so that would eliminate Real Steel. Inception and Matrix, I prefer those to Edge of Tomorrow, so we can forget about Edge of Tomorrow. My bracket is weird. And then Matrix versus Inception is what we have left. Ladies and gentlemen, drum roll. To me, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. I think I told you since the beginning that Matrix was gonna win, but Inception is, it's not a bad movie. Inception is pretty cool. I feel like if I only placed those differently, maybe there would be a different outcome. Well, not Matrix would win, but I don't know. It wouldn't look like that. Those were I started off so strong with Blade Runner, Fifth Element, the other Blade Runner, Terminator 2. Okay, I guess Hunger Games was in there and Avatar. And there you have it. So what I want you to do is keep an eye on my community post, because what I'm going to do is basically post a couple of polls for you guys to vote so I can find an actual winner out of this poll right there. So I'm probably gonna, I don't know how many options I can have in one poll, but I'll put as much as possible. And then if I have to post multiple polls, we'll do those, and then we'll put the results, and then we'll do an extra poll to find the winner. But yeah, I've been yapping for 1 hour and 30 minutes. Jeez. And now I have to edit and then post this video. This is going to be painful. Again, let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section below. Make sure you subscribe. We're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. We're something around 100 subscribers away from that. So that would be awesome if you guys could subscribe. Also, if you would like me to go to one of those websites and make a proper bracket and share the link and all that, I can also do that probably. So let me know. Let me know. Give me your thoughts and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.